Hey everyone, this is Roger from Almost in Full Color. For the month of May, Twitch Prime went ridiculous and gave us 9 free games. So this is going to be a very drill-based, here's a bunch of games, so get ready. So again, there was no overall theme to these games. We got 9 games, and they varied from different genres. And there's no set here. So we're just going to go one by one real quick. Goes away May 20th. So if you like this game from this review, go download it as quick as you can. It came out in 2017 and it's about 6 hours of gameplay. It's a puzzle game, and this is basically a world of elephants that are protectors of it, and comes down because it's his turn. There weren't bad puzzles here. There were some unique, but it was more on the easy side. It is a kid's game. Well, I thought so until I ran into this executioner in a prison, and that got real dark. But overall, the graphics were really good, and I liked you could customize your elephant. And they even joked around with this. You had this Link costume, and it had a joke title. And again, the jokes were pretty decent here. There was some that hit pretty, missed pretty hard, and then some that were really well done. It was an interesting game, but I have to say, do not download this. Nothing overall grabbed me. There were some cool controls you can do with the elephant, like drink water to put out fire. But overall, that was it. The plus here is it's a kid's game, and it's a puzzle game, so entertain them. The negative, it's just dull. Nothing else there. Next up is Old School Musical, which will go away May 22nd. So please grab that if this is interesting. And this is a rhythm game that came out in 2018. And is about 4 hours in gameplay length if you just play one song and that's it. Again, rhythm games have replayability because you can play different difficulties. And you're Rob and Tib, and they live on an island with a mother that trains them every day. And eventually, they just want to explore, and one day, the glitch takes over and destroys their island. This game is just nostalgia for people that were in the 80s, 90s. During the training, you fight like Pokemon style at some scenes. And then once you go to the other worlds, they're all based off of older games. So here you're in the Ninja Turtles world. And then eventually you even hit a Metal Gear Solid world. So it was all interesting. And this is all chip tunes. So it's not like real songs. Well, let me rephrase that. I like chip tunes, so I felt like I trashed that. This isn't like songs you'll hear on the radio or anything. These are just these 8 16-bit style songs. And they're really good. I enjoyed the music. And overall, I would recommend this as a download. This is a very fun rhythm game. Overall, and the pro here is the nostalgia. You're going to enjoy it if you like that. There's a lot of visuals going on while you play that I enjoyed. And the con here is it might not be in your time period of remembrance, so you may not care for this, and that's probably going to be your con. Next up, we have a Vici Vector. I hope I said that correctly, and rest in peace to Vici. This came out in 2019, got a Metacritic score of 80, and is about 2 hours. Again, this is a rhythm-based game, so that time is not really accurate because you probably play it a lot. And this game was dedicated to the DJ. So this music's really good. This is basically his greatest hit CD packaged in a game. He did the song Wake Me Up. You may have heard that one before, but overall, this is his greatest hits, and it's enjoyable. So the music is really good in this game. I enjoy the visuals actually a lot. You're this ship flying through like space. So this is good for that electronica DJ music. But the cutscenes are annoying. They're atrocious. I just didn't enjoy them. The first one was the girl stops, says, "I lost my chocolate bar," and then flies away. And I'm like, I don't understand. This game actually leverages a controller a lot. So you use your directions, you use the bumpers and the buttons to control it, and overall I recommend this as a download. This is a great game for a good DJ. It was a great dedication. So that's my pro. And the con here, it's a rhythm game, so if you're not into rhythm games, you're not going to like it. Next up, we have Fractured Minds, which comes in at a total game time of 16 minutes. This came out in 2019 and is normally $2. And this is them artsy style game. There's some controls here. But what was cool about this is the background of this game. It was made by a 17-year-old, and she wanted to talk about mental health issues, and this was basically interpreting how it's like to live with mental health. So it's kind of dark, game, and it just shows some struggles. And like I mentioned, it's very short, And I'll say I would recommend this as not as a download. Instead, go buy it. It's $2 and 80% of the money goes to her for making the game and to save in our world, which is gamers community helping the mental health. So your donation will go there. I think that's a good use of that instead of downloading it free. The con of this is it is short. Next up, we have Anna's Quest, which is a point-and-click game that came out in 2015, and it's about 10 hours. And this is a story of a granddaughter that wants to help her ill grandfather who told her not to go in the woods. And she goes in the woods, and a witch captures her. So you're on this grand adventure. You even meet a talking teddy bear, and it's a point-and-click game, which reminds me of why I didn't like point-and-click games. This was one of the puzzle ones that was harder. Not harder, it was just you had to combine things. Just click around until you found stuff. And to me, I always found that boring, and I actually pulled up a guide to kind of get through this video, which is a bad sign to me because the story didn't grab me. I'm just not big into the witches and goblins and stuff like that. But overall, the art style was good. This is how I remember point-and-click games looking, but I'm sure if I played one from the 90s, it wouldn't look this good. So it was like an updated version of that, and overall, I have to say, I don't recommend this as a download. The positives here, it's a point-and-click game that stuck to the formula, and that's kind of my con here. It just felt generic, and nothing stuck out to me, and the story just didn't grab me. Next game is also a point-and-click game called the Little Acre, and there will be a little button up here. You can watch my full review of this from the May 2019, since this came out before for free. This is a short one that's 2 hours, and it's about a story of a father and a girl where the father went missing and the girl goes to find him, and they go into a magical world. The art style is good. It's actually compared to Anna's Quest a lot. But overall, it was a simpler version of point and click, but that made it better to me. So I recommended this as a download, and I still hold that. It was a cool short game, and it was entertaining. The con here is the diehard point and click people are not going to like this. I apologize if I messed this up, but the next game is Kapoor. This came out in 2016, and it's about 9 hours. And this is a side-scroller game, which basically your character, I guess, wakes up from a bad dream, and the father tells a story about the dream world getting taken over by the nightmare world, and this is where the main character comes to life to defend that. I enjoyed the graphics a lot. This cartoony-ish style looked really good, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the boss fights. The problem I had with it was just weird camera angles. Like when you go through a cave, it gets really close. I didn't like it. The map navigation is annoying because there's a lot of back and forth. Once you find out you have to destroy the hearts, you have to move your arrow around to get to the locations. I wish that was kind of cut out. The collecting, there was a lot to collect. So there was like 100 per chapter of these friends you had to collect once you get an item to see them. And it just didn't grab me. They weren't that hard to get. It was just so much, and I just didn't care. And the leveling up was pretty decent. You gain more and more power. But I do recommend this as a download, even though I kind of sound like I was trashing at the end. The pro here, it was a fun side-scroller. It looked cool. I was enjoying myself. The con here, it's not really advanced. It tried to be this weird RPG thing, but it's just a side-scroller game. So if you're looking for more, you probably won't like that. 2 more games left. Next up is Snake Pass. And this is a kid's puzzle game that came out in 2017. It's about 5 hours. And basically you control a snake to open up gates, and you have a hummingbird friend to help you out. And this game looks amazing. I enjoyed the look of this game. I liked how your snake looked. And you had to like control it like a snake. You had to slither and climb things. And what you would think is, controls sound horrible. They actually worked really well. I had a few hiccups, but overall, I enjoyed the controls for what you have to do, and counting you just control with the 2 joysticks and have a grip button and like raise your head button. You could climb a lot of stuff and move around, and it was like intuitive. And this is the kids game that adults are going to hate. And what I mean by that is there's collectibles in this one, but they are like harder level to get all of them. So there'll be like a bigger thing you have to climb, or you have to go out over the edge where you can actually die in this game. And as an adult, I had to get them all. I don't know why. There wasn't that many per level. It was like 15 things. I just had to get them. And that made it fun. So there's some game you play with your kid, and it'll be entertaining for you as an adult. And I highly recommend this as a download. I like the concept a lot, and the pro here is you get to control Snake really well. The negative here, it is a kid's game, so don't expect much more than that. But that's overall there. Final game, Urban Trial Playground. This came out last year, and it's $7 normally. It's about 2 hours. To put it frank, this is a Trials ripoff. If you played the Trials game or watched any of my other videos, I love Trials. So I'll try to be as fair as I can to this. The graphics were okay. I enjoyed them. The game looked kind of cool. It was fun. Gameplay was more simpler. And how I found this was the market they were trying to go for was like the people that think Trials is way too hard. This game was to give you something that's a little easier and a lot less, I guess, game modes. There's only 2 modes that you could play. It's basically the stunt one where you got points, and then a time trials one where you have to dodge the stopwatches that lose time for you, and there's some you can gain. And like I said, this is short. It's about 2 hours, so there wasn't much level depth, and there was just not enough to hold me. So I'll say not download this, but this is coming from me where my pro would be just go get an older Trials game and you'll have a lot more fun. So I know there's a bias there, but for most people, I think you would just want a dirt bike game that's not overly complex, and this would pass time. I could see this, it's on the Switch, I could see this working better as a handheld. So finally, we knocked out 9 games. Sorry for the long video, but we had a lot of games to go through. There's a decent bunch. Hopefully some of the games I said not to download was enjoyable to you. It just wasn't my cup of tea, but maybe you'll enjoy it. Overall, thank you for watching this video. Can't wait to see you next month for hopefully a little less free games I have to go through. Peace.